Hello everyone, my name is Viviane
My name is Nikita.
My name is Harjit.
and we will talk about the incredible destinations, most visit places in India, Brazil and Canada. Firstly, I want to share with you the land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge the Justice Institute of British Columbia New Westminster campus located on the unceded traditional territories of the Kwakwat, Musqueam and Central Coast Salish peoples. So firstly, I'll talk about my first place that I have just to talk here. It's called Rua do Bom Jesus. Rua do Bom Jesus is located in the northwest of Brazil. More precisely, is a island between the ocean and Capibaribe River. The district is located in the city of Recife. The state is Pernambuco, the country Brazil. Recife is the city where I was born. So I chose to talk about this street because uh, I spend a lot of time with my family there, but this is not the only reason. I will talk about the history for this street firstly. So the Rua do Bom Jesus was created during the Dutch occupation when several Jews settled in Recife, precisely on Rua do Bom Jesus. For this fact, the place became known as Jews Street in reference to freedom of belief. And the street is considered the oldest in the capital of Recife. So, because of this, the Rua do Bom Jesus has the first synagogue in America, founded in the 17th century during Dutch occupation in Brazil. And the reasons is firstly, how I say before, Rua do Bom Jesus is situated in the historic center of Recife, but the main reason is because one day I was walking in the street and I found a lost dog there, and I decided to adopt the dog, and it's my pet dog until today. And I miss him a lot since I have arrived in Canada. The third reason is because Rua do Bom Jesus is the busiest street during the Carnival party in Brazil. The Carnival party is the famous and biggest party in Brazil. As you can see in the next slide, this is Rua do Bom Jesus during the Carnival party in Recife. Another curiosity about the street is because Rua do Bom Jesus was considered one of the most beautiful streets in the world. In 2019, the North American magazine Architectural Digest published the article 51 of the most beautiful streets in the world by Nick Mafe. And Bom Jesus Street was the only Brazilian on the list. So while I was studying about my favorite place in the world, I discovered that Pernambuco has the fourth largest indigenous population in Brazil, and there are more than 10 ethnic groups present in Pernambuco, one of which is the Atacama Human indigenous community. And I also discovered that Brazil has the service for the protection of Indians and localizations of national workers, and this service guaranteed the suspension of taxes for land used by indigenous people, what means that Aticum Human indigenous people who live in their own lands, they have to pay a tax for the government for living there, but these services don't recognize the lands and didn't delimitate the lands for Atacama people. Only in 1967, with the National Foundations of Indigenous People in Brazil, it's called FUNAI. Funai recognized 90 kilometers of land belonging to the Atikonoman people, and Funai stated that no indigenous people can not enter in the Atikonoman lands without authorization. So moving on to my second place, I choose to talk about Stanley Park. Stanley Park is a famous park in Vancouver, Canada, and I chose to talk about Stanley Park because it was the first park that I went with my family when we arrived in Canada, and it really was a very happy day for us as a family. Talking about the localizations of Stanley Park. Stanley Park is located on the traditional territory of Coast Salish First Nations, including the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil Waututh. Sorry if my pronunciation not correctly. And it encompasses the peninsula west of downtown Vancouver, and Stanley Park is surrounded by the waters of Burrard Inlet and Cole Harbour and English Bay. I'm talking about the history of Stanley Park. So in 1886, the Council for the City of Vancouver sent a request to the Canadian government for permission to use the military reserve to the west of the city as a public park. So in 1887, the Canadian government allowed to build the park, and only in 1888 the Stanley Park was opened to the public, and it was considered until today the first and biggest urban park in Vancouver, Canada. And about the name Stanley, the name Stanley came from the name of Governor General Frederick Arthur Stanley. So while I was studying about the area of Stanley Park, I discovered that the peninsula was the site of one of the largest indigenous settlements on the lower mainland, known as the White. And in 1887, city officials destroyed the remaining structures of this indigenous community, and the indigenous people who lived there, they were forced to leave their lands because the Europeans wanted to build the first park road there. Talking about the park road, during the creation of Park Drive in 1888, ground up shields from this meeting were dug up and used to pave the road. And in the course of excavating the paving materials, workers discovered stumps of dead cedars over 500 years old and exhumed a number of skeletons. Some of the debris to pave the original road and some of the remains were sent to the National Museum in Ottawa. This is a photo by City of Vancouver. It shows the white community, indigenous people working to make the park road. They were forced to do that. So another curiosity about Stanley Park is there is a Lumberman's Ark is a popular meeting place and landmark on the north side of Stanley Park. In 1912, the BC Lumberman and Singleman Society honored the Duke of Connaught, son of Queen Victoria, with an ark to mark his visit to Vancouver. But some researchers say that the Lumberman's Ark, the current ark in the Stanley Park, is situated on the site of the former White First Nations village and was likely a communal meeting place in Coastal culture. This is a picture by the City of Vancouver archivist, and it shows the beach of the White side near today's Lumberman's Ark in 1910. And today, Stanley Park has some totem poles made by First Nations representing the indigenous nations. So I put in this final slide my considerations because I think although they are beautiful art made by indigenous people, I think they also symbolize that the park site belonged to the indigenous people and how they symbolize how the indigenous people suffered so that Stanley Park could be created. And Nikita will uh, start her presentation.
So, hello everyone. Now I will discuss two places. First is Triveni Ghat, Rishikesh, which is situated in India, and the second one is the Confederation Bridge, situated in New Brunswick, Canada. Talking about Triveni Ghat is a spiritual center of India, which is located in a small town, Rishikesh. This town is located on the northern state of India, which is known as Uttarakhand. Rishikesh is a yoga capital of India, and it is a vegetarian and alcohol-free city. So here is the map of India, and this portion is Uttarakhand, and Uttarakhand is subdivided into smaller units known as districts, and Rishikesh is in situated in district Dehradun, and here you can see that Triveni Ghat is located on the bank of river Ganges. So the main reason why I have chosen this place is because it has spiritual importance for the Hindus, and I belong to Rishikesh, and I used to attend the evening prayer ceremony, which is known as Maha or Ganga Aarti in Triveni Ghat since my childhood. Triveni Ghat is famous for holy prayer ceremony known as Ganga Aarti, beautiful sculptures of god and goddesses, and the local market. It is located on the bank of river Ganges at the confluence of three holy rivers known as Yamuna, Saraswati, and the Ganges. The Triveni Ghat is famous for the evening prayer ceremony, which is attended by a large number of devotees belonging to different cultures and various countries. And this is a Thanksgiving ritual dedicated to God, goddesses, and River Ganga because River Ganga is considered as divine mother by the Hindus, who is a life giver. And the prayer ceremony is conducted by a team of priests. As you can see that the priests are wearing traditional Indian dresses, and they hold these type of big oil lamps and conduct the prayer ceremony. They beat drums, chant mantras, prayers, and they light up several incense sticks during the ritual. So this ceremony is a ceremony which helps the people to connect to the divine power. It is a symbol of gratitude, purification, and surrender to the divine, and it gives us a message to protect our natural resources and rivers. So, after the ceremony, evening dancing and singing programs are conducted by the organizers of the prayer ceremony, and people sing holy and cultural songs and dance on the bank of River Ganga in the Triveni Ghat. People also take holy bath in River Ganga because many of them believe that they could get rid of their past sins if they take bath in River Ganga. So there is a popular market which is situated near the Triveni Ghat, and this market is named after the Ghat only. It is the biggest and most popular market of Rishikesh. In this market, there are a variety of shops which sells precious gemstones, worship idols, photographs of god and goddesses. There are also clothing shops, and there are a variety of restaurants in this market where people enjoy local food of Rishikesh, which is their traditional food. And there are cosmetic shops, religious bookstores, and utensil shops in the market. Bargaining is allowed in almost all the shops in the market. And as you can see, this is the picture of Triveni Ghat. The local vendors also sell different types of prayer items and food items at the ghat as well. For example, you can see here that the local vendors of Rishikesh are selling flowers, incense sticks, and the ghat, and these are the white bottles in which the water of holy river Ganga is also sold by these vendors, and people take the water of holy river Ganga back to their homes and sprinkle them in their homes so that they can have the pious vibrations of river Ganga, and they many believe that they they can purify their homes by the water of river Ganga. These types of sculptures of Hindu god and goddesses are built on the Triveni Ghat, and these depict the history and teachings of the Hindu culture. So the second place that I would be discussing here is the Confederation Bridge, which is located in New Brunswick, Canada. So from here you can see that this is the Confederation Bridge. It is located in eastern Canada across the Northumberland Strait between the provinces of Prince Edward and New Brunswick Island. It is 12.9 kilometers long, and the reason why I have chosen this place is that I wish to visit this place in the future, as my brother has already visited it and he has suggested that this place has cultural significance. It is a symbol of historic association between Canadian provinces and territories, and it is also a symbol of strength of Canadian identity. It is the longest bridge of Canada, and it is the longest bridge in the world over ice forming waters. So this bridge is an iconic example of modern engineering. It is vast and big. It is made up of materials that can tolerate harsh climate and changing tides. It is a vital transportation link which connects Prince Edward Island to rest of Canada. So, talking about the history of Confederation Bridge, its construction started on October 1993 and was completed in May 1997, and it was officially opened on 31st May 1997. Here, the word Confederation represents the Dominion of Canada, which is a federal union of British North American colonies, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and the province of Canada. So, Confederation Bridge provides a spectacular scenic views of the surroundings. Visitor can click photos of beautiful views of Northumberland Strait and its beaches. Confederation Bridge is a famous tourist destination. People from all over the world come across the bridge to experience the unique engineering of Confederation Bridge, and there are several outdoor activities which are available nearby the bridge, such as hiking, biking, water activities like kayaking is enjoyed by the tourists in Prince Edward Island, paddle boarding, fishing, and there is also golf course located near this bridge. So here you can see that people are enjoying cycling, and there are various tourist destinations or places which are situated nearby the bridge. Cape Germanium Nature Center is situated near the New Brunswick side of the bridge. It is a famous and beautiful picnic spot. It also provides opportunities for nature walks, learning about flora and fauna, and bird watching. The tourist can explore the nature, the local culture of the area by visiting the Confederation Center for Arts, which has many art galleries, theaters, and a museum. So here you can see in the map that there are various places which are located near the Confederation Bridge, such as museums, mansion, Garden of Hope. There is no treaty for the Confederation Bridge. However, the Government of Canada and Prince Edward Island entered into a bilateral federal provincial agreement. The Confederation Bridge was approved by Canadian Parliament in 1993. It was the main agreement. This law contained the rules and conditions for bridge development. Furthermore, it created a corporate partnership in charge of the project, Strait Crossing Development. Strait Crossing Bridge Limited is a private and public company that is responsible for maintaining Confederation Bridge. When departing from Prince Edward Island, bridge tolls are collected at the toll booth at Borden Cartlon. All the credit cards, Interac, and cash are accepted, and these tolls are free from taxes. So, and after me, Harjit will be continuing the video. Thanks for listening me.
Hello guys, I'm going to share my two favorite places which is very close to my heart. One is from India and one is from Canada. In India, my favorite place is Maharaja Ranjit Singh Fort. Maharaja is in English it's known as a king. On your left there is a old picture of the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Fort in 1858, and here is the present building of the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Fort. Exact location of the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Fort is the Grand Trunk Road on the bank of the river Satluj, which is in the city Philor, and I was born in the Philor city. And you can see in the map there is a blue color, there is a Satluj river, and on the red boundaries there are the territory of the Philor city, and in the center of this there is a location of Maharaja Ranjit Singh Fort. You can see this, it is very near to the Satluj river. Here is the portrait of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. He was renowned as the Lion of the Punjab or Sher-e Punjab, who was born on November 13th, 1780 in Gujranwala. Gujranwala right now is situated in the Pakistan territory. He was a great ruler and great warrior which was ever found in the Sikh kingdom of Punjab. The history of the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Fort is way back connected to the colonial periods, which was built in reply to the British, who had built a small fort at Ludhiana. On the top of their two pictures, on the top of it is a Lodi fort, which was constructed under the presence of the British community. And then the down is there is the construction of the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Fort on the other side of the river Satluj. Lodi Fort is on the other side of the Satluj River in the territory Ludhiana city. The town of the floor in which the fort is located owes its origin to a Sangeda Jat Fool, who named it after him Foolnagar, and after it was converted into Flor. And the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Fort first was built to guard the ferry of city Flor from the colonial persons. Right now, Philor situation of the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Fort is that it is currently used for the police training and the army training purposes. It was handed over to civil authorities in 1890. Reasons why this place is important to me. The first is during my childhood, me and my friends crossed paths in this location and quickly formed an unbreakable bond and becoming the best friends. Even right now, when we got phone calls with each other, we used to talk about the places we went to the in Maharaja forts, and we used to talk about the things we discussed over there, and we also talk about the knowledge that we gained and the history knowledge that we gained from when we were visited in the Maharaja fort. And our cherished memories were often created in the gymnasium and playground areas where we would spend countless hours of together. Even some police officials allow us to watch the police trainings over there when we were children. There was a gym where I enjoyed going to the place there. It's in a private gym in the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Fort, and we do daily exercises routines. The gym, along with the playground area, held a special place in my heart. It was where I would eagerly spend time with my friends, engaging in various exercises and cardio workouts. So right now I will share my experience and the place which is very close and I like the most in Canada, because this was the first place that I ever visited in Canada, and that's the Capilano Suspension Bridge. So here is the some glimpse of the Capilano Suspension Bridge. You can see how this is beautiful place. It's so connected to the nature. So this place is a fascinating landmark that combines natural beauty. As you can see, all over there are trees and all green trees over there, rich history and a connection to indigenous community. The bridge is more than just a tourist destination. It has a deep historical significance and is situated on indigenous land. When I was first, my friend talked to me that we are going to visit the suspension bridge. I was so shocked that why would I see the suspension, or why would I see the bridge over there? There are a lot of bridges in India, and why would I see that? But after that, when I visited there, so I was so shocked that this is a very beautiful place, and not even this is a tourist place, but you can also learn the knowledge and then gain the information about the communities, about the indigenous community in the Capilano Suspension Bridge. The location of the Capilano Suspension Bridge is located on the North Vancouver, British Columbia, which is almost 10-kilometer distance from the Vancouver. And this place is situated on the unceded traditional territory of the Squamish Nation. The term Capilano carries the meaning of beautiful river, which is known as the Capilano River in the Squamish language. A significant part of Capilano's connection to their heritage involves the time-honored tradition of placing totem poles, which represent the stories and legends throughout the grounds of Capilano Suspension Bridge Park. For countless millennia, the indigenous people have inhabited this land, considering it their ancestral home. At Capilano, you will have the opportunity to discover the profound bond between their culture and the surrounding natural world. So the reason why this place is I like, because this was the first destination in Canada that I ever explored, was a place of exceptional beauty and tranquility. Its sheer beauty, its nature, and its trees all over the place and soothing atmosphere left me in awe. It was a testament to the incredible wonders that nature has to offer. So here are some pictures I added over there. Uh, these are some edited pictures. I just made some glows on my face in this. So I visited this place. I already told that with my friends, and we walked on a bridge that was hanging on two hills. And on the first picture on your right, I have standing on the bridge on the fences, and you can see there are trees behind me, and the view of the sky is so beautiful. And on the middle picture I'm sitting on a wooden thing, and behind me there are the information regarding the construction, regarding the history of the Capilano Suspension Bridge and the Squamish Nation peoples, how they contribute to the Capilano Suspension Bridge and the Capilano territory. On the left there is the totem pose, which is very beautifully sculpture by the indigenous community people. It was a knowledgeable and fun trip for us. So the history of the bridge date back to the 1889, when the Scottish civil engineer George Grant Mackey built the original footbridge. It was originally constructed using the hemp ropes and cedar planks. The bridge has been rebuilt and upgraded several times over the years. The present owner of the Capilano Suspension Bridge is Nancy Stibart. She acquired the bridge in 1983 from her father Ray Mitchell. Her objectives was to transform the park from a simple pit spot into a renowned global tourist attraction. She achieved this remarkable feat in under a decade. Nancy's extraordinary accomplishments, including her induction into the Canadian Tourism Hall of Fame in 2000, uh, reflects her tremendous success. So here are the totem poles. I have places so many totem poles pictures. Many of the story poles, which is it's also known as the story poles, in the park were designed and carved by the notable indigenous carvers. One is Wayne Carlick and the other is James Lewis of the Tartan Nation. Totem poles symbolize the culture, their honor to their deceased members, and relationships of indigenous people with each other and with the natures too. The other interesting places to watch in the Capilano Bridge is tree loops. Here I places some pictures about the tree loops. You can see there are the some how we can walk from the one tree to another tree through the path they made with the tree loops. So this is called the tree loops. Tree Loops Adventures, an award-winning attraction built in 2004, features 7 suspension bridges and platforms supported by ancient Douglas firs. The innovative design utilizes adjustable, non-invasive collards that apply minimal pressure to the trees, allowing for their continuous growth. These bridges, these tree loops, did not harm the tree. The tree will grow itself. It has no harm on the trees. With its breathtaking view and preservation of centuries-old trees, Treetops Adventures stands out as a unique walk experience worldwide. Another thing that should watch in the Capilano Suspension Bridge, how a water drops can transform the rock by over time. It's called erosion. Fun exhibits to show the effects of water erosion on rock after various number of years. The first one is 15 years of erosion when the water drops continuously on a rock 15 years, how it shapes the rocks, and after 25 years, and after that the 50 years of the erosion. You can see the difference of the three rocks, how it changes shapes after the time. So here is the organization that the indigenous people can visit it. The Squamish Nation is a First Nation community located in the southwestern part of the British Columbia, Canada. The Squamish Nations organization provides some facilities to the indigenous peoples. First is the cultural preservation and education, where the people can get cultural education programs, language classes, storytelling sessions, and cultural events. Social services, where they can get help for the counseling, mental health support, and support for families and elders. Economic development, to create employment opportunities and to improve the economic well-being of their community. Land and resource management, environmental monitoring, and a negotiation with the government and industry to protect their rights and ensure sustainable practices. Housing and infrastructure, to provide affordable housing options for community members and maintaining community infrastructures. Governance and advocacy, advocate for indigenous rights, participate in political processes. So these are our reference pages where we got all the collected our data for this beautiful presentation. So we are thankful for the Gerald for providing us opportunity to talk about the indigenous community in Canada. We are thankful for you all students and we are all peers to peacefully listening to our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.